wasn't really sure how I wanted to do this video, how I wanted to present it to you. But it's the first video of the new year, so I feel like I have to like address some things and really just talk about the truth about how the new year sometimes makes me feel. This particular new year, I had a very rough ending to the last year, the previous year. Many of us had a very tough year in its entirety, or at some parts or points. For me, the ending was really what was like, So I was fortunate family-wise. Everyone has been safe, blessed, and I do regret and condolences to those who have lost anyone during this time and have lost family members. It's just been a difficult time for all of us, and I don't even know where to start. So towards the end of the year, I had a hard drive failure is what I'm going to call it, because there's 7 stages of denial when your hard drive crashes. And the long story short of it is I ended up losing 2 terabytes worth of data, which is pretty much a good chunk of my content creation life. And I've been carrying it all around on just one hard drive for the last 3 or 4 years. The hard drive has been so good to me. I've taken this thing everywhere, in my suitcase, in my purse, in my bag, wherever I'm going. This thing was always with me. It was like an extension of me. If you knew me, you always saw this little orange thing with me, whether it was in a bag or somewhere around me at my mom's house, editing, whatever the case may be. And it failed. And I feel I take full responsibility for it, full accountability. I saw the warning signs towards the end. I just didn't know what they meant. And now that I've been through it, I can actually share this with you and tell you what it's like. I'm going to do a separate video on hard drive failure, how to avoid it, how to protect your data, how to actually back stuff up. Because people talk about backing things up, but I feel like it's so vague. Like, what does that mean? Like, talk to me, tell me in layman's terms what it means to back things up, why it's important. I'm all about the why. If I can understand the why behind something, then I'll be more likely to go with it or allow it to sink into my brain. So that was a little bit devastating. Well, not a little bit devastating. It was extremely devastating because I have traveled a lot over the last decade of my life, and a large portion of my travels were on that video. I particularly went to a place called the Azores in Portugal. It's a group of islands off the coast of Portugal, and it's so beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's like no place I've ever been in my entire life. Like, it's so pretty, and how I felt when I was there, it was just like, it was a feeling that was indescribable. Like, experiencing something new that you've never experienced before was just, it was everything. And the fact that I was able to capture some of those moments, I was so happy. Like, the weather was amazing, everything about it was amazing, and that footage is gone. So that was the biggest hurt for me on that entire hard drive. Everything else I felt like I could kind of piece together here or there, but like my travels, that hurt the most, because those are your experiences. And for me, as someone who creates content or just creates in general, those are my babies. Those are the children, the fruit of my labor. You know what I mean? So to lose them, it was very devastating. And so the last few weeks of the year, it was really rough. And then coming into the new year was my period of realization that I was just like not getting this back. Like, I even went as far as purchasing tools on Amazon to open the hard drive to see how I can do it. I purchased a SATA cable to try to extract the data. I did so many things, and when I finally got inside the hard drive, the amount of damage that there was on the actual disk, like the part that stores your information, was not good. So that was my moment of like, I didn't even know what it meant. I called several places, I sent pictures and emails, like, what does this mean to it? And they all were just like, nah sis. And I even made a last ditch effort to send something else out to another company, like, hey, I understand there's several disks that are inside of this hard drive. Can we get to the other disks and the layers? May there be data there? Can that be salvaged? But at the end of the day, you got to take your losses for what they are. If there was data there, long story short of that, it would cost me an arm and a leg to get it back. So it's like you have to kind of think about, what are your experiences worth to you? And I almost cried when I thought about that question, right? Like, what were my experiences worth to me? And even if no one else sees it, or I don't get to share it with you or create something beautiful from my experience, I have the experience in my heart. When I close my eyes and I think back of those moments and what the place looked like and how I felt when I first saw the things that I saw, that's priceless. And it may not be on the hard drive, but it's in my heart. And so I said, you know what? Make peace with this. Make peace with this and release it. I'm working so hard to make peace with things that I cannot change, and accept those things for what they are. And it makes you feel so much better when you release them and you accept them, you know? So my hard drive is crashing is synonymous with my life, and I'm having to accept things that I can't change. I'm having to accept things that I thought were that aren't. All of those things were just synonymous with my hard drive crashing. So it just all happened at once. And the new year starting, there's always this feeling of pressure of setting goals and creating goals and achievements. And I just felt stuck. Like I really felt stuck. Like, how was I going to create these goals? Because I have to start over from scratch. How do I start over? Like, what does starting over look like? And for the longest, I've always just kind of went off of what I've already done. I don't think I've ever really started from scratch since I started my YouTube journey and since I started creating content or trying to do this on my own full time. I've always started like piggybacked on something else. Like when I first started, my very first video was a hair video, like about some hair that I had and about my hair and this, that, and the other. And then from there, I went on to do fashion videos, and I realized I had a knack in doing hauls, and people really loved seeing my hauls. And I worked with Forever 21. Like, I was doing great things, and I was just like, this is amazing. And then from there, I was like, okay, I want to do home decor and so on and so forth. So to start from scratch with the content, it's like I have to understand there's a blessing in everything that happens, right? There's a blessing that, one, I have a body of work that I've already published and released on YouTube, right? So I have 10, 11 years of videos on YouTube. And that's okay, you know? Accept that. I think a lot of times in life, we think about our failures, but we don't count our achievements, you know what I mean? Like, and be grateful for those achievements. It's like, oh yeah, the hard drive failed. Oh, I have to start over. Yeah, but sis, you already got over a decade worth of stuff that you did do that is good, you know what I mean? And then I had bits and pieces of stuff in other places I didn't even realize. I had tons of footage on my phone, even though I had taken most of the Azor's footage on my phone, 80% of it was deleted. I still have that 20%. I still have all the photos. I still had pictures and videos and other hard drives that I had at home that I wasn't traveling with. And I even purchased a recovery software that was amazing in recovering data from old memory cards. So I was able to salvage something. So at the end of the day, I say all this to say, when you have something that happens that's devastating to you, count the wins. Count the wins, think about the wins. It's so easy to fall into the negative, but like lean into that positive and allow it to take you into more positivity, because life is always going to throw you something that is challenging, that is difficult, that seems like you can't start over, you don't know where to start. And it's your responsibility to mentally put yourself in a space of positivity, to try, at the very least, if there's even a thread of positivity, reach for that thread. Reach for that thread and hold on to that thread. And maybe you can braid other threads into that thread and create a full braid of positivity with just that one thread. Just hold on to that thread and lean into that thread. Don't allow the negativity to seep in. It's so easy to let that it's like somebody who has a YouTube video, and the YouTube video did well and everybody has good things to say, and one person says something negative, and you lean into that negativity and you just discounted all those other positive things that people said about the video. You lean into that one comment. It's synonymous with life. Don't lean into the negativity. Grab onto that thread of positivity that may be lingering there somewhere, because I guarantee you in every situation that we go through in life, there is a thread of positivity. You might not see it initially because it's too small, but you got to look for it. Look for the thread. Find the thread. Reach for it. Pull it. Make you a braid out of that thread. You know what I mean? Find other threads and weave a braid of positivity into your life, because if not, we're going to be hopeless. We're going to be stressed out. We're going to put unrealistic expectations on ourselves to be these perfect people because it's the new year and the new year started and I got to be like this and I got to be like that. It's like, nah, you ain't got to be nothing but yourself. You ain't got to be nothing but happy. You don't have to be anything but grateful, you know, for the things that you have done and you did contribute to life. You being here alone is enough of an achievement. So it's okay. Start where you're at, you know. do what you want with what you have now. Just start. That's it. So I hope I didn't ramble. I hope this didn't come off as like, what is she talking about? But I was going through it, and I just need to come and talk to y'all. So please tell me if you are going through it, and we can go through it together. Like, tell me in the comments below what's really going on, because this was difficult this new year. You know, starting into the new year was difficult, and I'm sure it was difficult for many. And so I just wanted to come here and talk to you. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Hope you guys, I wish you lots of love, positivity, light for the rest of the new year, the rest of your lifetime, the rest of your eternity in your existence. I wish the same for your families, your loved ones, and those that are closest to you. And I thank you so much for being here, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.